Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer retro game review video. For this one it is RMS Titanic, which was released by Electric Dreams in 1986. Not that long after the wreck of the Titanic was actually discovered. In fact, this game I think was already under development before they discovered it. Anyway, the game has not yet finished loading. Now this is another of those games that's quite different. It's difficult to actually categorise it. It's got a mixture of strategy elements, simulation elements, there's puzzle solving. You could even say there's arcade adventure elements to it. So this is the let's just get out of here for a minute. Bollocks, I thought, okay, yeah, we'll close it. So that screen there, in fact let's exit back to it now that we'll shut up that music for a bit. This is your main selection screen. So this is obviously to dive down to the wreck. This is your finance option. This one here is the press conference, and this one is rest at the end of the working day. You need to select that and go on to the next day. And this one is to load and save game. So as we've already been here, we'll check out the finance room. Now here, so we can check out our current balance is £41,000. Now we can go to the desk there to show that if there are any repairs needed to any of our, for any of our equipment. Well, obviously there isn't because we haven't done anything yet. And you can also go to the phone and then you contact any of these people and ask them. Okay, so I think at the moment none of them will be available because I haven't done anything. There we go. Right, so good luck. Try calling me when you've got something to show. Okay. I think they're all they'll either be away or they'll say that same thing. Here we go. Yeah. So the way the faces move, it's somewhat similar to the facial animation that appears in games by Accolade. It's not quite as good, but okay, so he's unavailable. So Elias O'Connell again says the same thing. So the object of the game is to explore the wreck of the Titanic. You are basically the head of a salvage operation, and you need to raise it. So I mean, it could have been called Raise the Titanic, but I think I can't choose that last bloke for some reason. Oh well. Yeah, so it could have been called Raise the Titanic, but I think they wanted to avoid anybody thinking that this might have had something to do with the less than impressive, shall we say, Lou Grade film. So, right, anyway, there won't be anyone at a press conference because we haven't done anything yet. So we'll go to the dive selection. Now here, we are in our submersible. And we can choose which of the 5 areas we want to visit. So let's go there. And we are now heading down towards the wreck. Alright, now we've got an incoming message. What's this one going to tell us? Press conference is called. Okay, well, I didn't think there would be one, so we're going to press the key to take us back up, And we better go and do the press conference, keep those fucking journalists happy. So, right, here we go. Now, how you answer the questions can actually have an impact in the game. If you, it's often best to suck up to the press. But sometimes when they ask stupid questions like that, I mean, as if that's a question that the Times would ask. There you go. Have you confirmed that Captain Smith was an alcoholic? I'm paying every attention. No, I'm not. Yes, there's even that one which looks like it's in Russian. So, right. Shipbuilders Weekly. Are you running into financial difficulties? No, I haven't done anything yet. Okay, no. How is the expedition going? Again, I haven't fucking done anything yet, so, extremely well. Most of the wealth on board is American. So fucking what? Yeah, that matter does not interest me. Yeah. Sometimes, will you be bringing up any bodies? No. Yeah, under no circumstances. Well, yeah, there you go. Well, I'll say that in reply. There we go. Right, so 3 of them have left. They've got everything that they need. Have you seen any evidence of fire damage? Yeah, we have no evidence to that effect. I think that's the yeah, right. Yeah, right. That one, right, and everyone buggers off. So now we can leave, and now we'll go back to diving. Now while I'm here, this is where I have to admit that I have forgotten to actually check up on the keys. So this should be good. Right, anyway, so we can increase the lighting and decrease it. Now obviously the higher the lighting, the better you can see everything, but also the more power it's using. It looks like there's only one doorway in and out of here, but let's go through everything that's shown in this display, because there is quite a bit. So we'll start with the lower part. So obviously the depth gauge is pretty self-explanatory. You can also use that because there are various decks of the wreck that you explore, so as well as just moving, you know, north, south, east to west, there's also up and down, and the depth gauge can give you an idea of whereabouts you are, because believe me, you can get lost. The icon next to it, the ship with a flashing border, is telling you that you're in a position where you can be retrieved and returned back to the research ship. The power display is self-explanatory. Once that goes down to 0, you're in trouble. The green bar that's below the power one, you saw there, it shows your power usage. Next to that is your oxygen tanks. Next to that, the thing that looks like a radar is actually a sonar, and if you drop sonar, boys, that sonar will pick it up if you are using the right frequency. At the moment I haven't dropped any, but you can actually choose which of the, you can drop 6, and say you drop buoy number 2, you would then select it to pick up that frequency. They have a range of 6 rooms, so if you are 6 rooms away, it will appear on the sonar display there, and you can use that as the guide. If you then want to use, say, another one, say you've dropped number 3 somewhere, you change the frequency to number 3, it will ignore the buoy 2 that you've been watching and guide you towards number 3, and so on. I quite like the idea, the fact that you can set these like buoys as waypoints, and then set it to just follow the one particular one that you want to see at the time. Now below that is the time. If you need me to explain that, then God help you. Next to that is the SOS signal. Shouldn't need to use that, but occasionally it will come up. Now up the top, you've already seen the thing that looks like the telephone receiver. When that flashes and you get the warning, that tells you that's warning, the like phone ringing sound, tells you there's a message coming in. Next to it is the option to send an item that you've collected to the laboratory. Next to that is the icon that tells you if the robot arm is working or not. You don't need a display there to tell you if the robot arm is working, because that's it deployed there. We'll come back to that in a moment. Now those 4 grey squares are where if you pick up an item, you can then store it within the submersible. I must admit I've forgotten what the grey circles underneath them indicate. Then next to it is the camera. You can take photographs of the items that you pick up, and it shows the age. This is a camera that of course is using film, no digital cameras in 86, and you can take 6 photographs, so the film part underneath that is showing you how many photographs have been taken and how much film you have left. Obviously once you return to the surface, everything gets repaired and sorted out and everything else. Anyway, that's a rough guide to everything here, so let's go through the door here into the next room. So next room, vegetables. So there is something on the floor there. I think it's a lettuce, if I remember rightly. So we'll bring down the robot arm. Pick it up. Yep, it's a lettuce. Now, if we return it, there it is in our hold. Now, if we select that hold and then bring out the robot arm, we'll take it back out again. So we'll hold it in there. I think it's F to take a photograph. Yeah, there you go. So we've taken the photograph of the lettuce there. We'll stick it in the hold anyway. And what you would do, you can either send it to a laboratory. I can't remember what the fucking key is to do that. Or you can send it to be sold. I don't think we'll get a great deal for for selling an old lettuce. If it doesn't sell, which means that it's either needed to solve one of the puzzles here. The puzzles are usually to open doors, or if no one wants it, then it gets put back into this room that we picked it up from. Likewise, if you send it to the laboratory, if it's not needed, again it gets put back in this room here. So Right, let's go through here. Ice cream and ice machine. Something looks like a hat over there. Now, it's been a long time since I played this. I did have this game back in the day. Oops, I forgot. Right, ice cream sundae, so we'll pick that up. I forgot to deselect, pick up the lettuce. So that door there needs to be opened, and that's where some of the puzzles come in. So the only other way at the moment is to go back out again. Now that's taking us back to where we were, so let's try through here. Fans. So, oh no, this is the room we started in, because, yeah, the lights flashing around the ship icon there. Okay, let's try here. Bacon. Now again, this is where I'm getting a bit frustrated that I stupidly didn't bother to check the keys. Now, hand of hand, but it has the same icon as the ice cream sundae. So if I select them both and drop them, no, it doesn't do anything here. Alright, so let's put them back. Maybe it'll do something in one of the other rooms. The room where the ice cream sundae was. So yeah, I wish I'd brushed up on the keys so I could show everything a bit better than I am going to in this video. Well, let's get the review part underway then. We'll start then with graphics. Graphics, I think, are fantastic. The effect of the like the low light and the variable light while you're exploring through the wreck, I think is superbly done. It looks amazing. I really am impressed with that. The graphics in the things like the press conference, again, done well. Same with like the finance room. As far as sound goes, I think a lot of the sound effects themselves they're very sparse. Most of this game is played in silence. What sound effects there are, though, are well done. The music is okay, but nothing remarkable. But then it's not like the music is constantly playing. Let's return to the surface and see what happens regarding the photographs or the stuff that I brought up with me. Alright, so let's see what any of these lot will say now. Oh, he's still unavailable, and so is he. I have a feeling everyone's going to be unavailable now. Yeah. Okay, alright, so no repairs needed. Balance is unchanged because we're still on the same day. Okay, so let's get out of here. I don't think anyone is going to be at a press conference. No. So although this is a complete waste of a day, we'll go on to the next day. Now we'll see what our finances are at. So they're at 37,000. Once you become bankrupt, the the expedition ends. But that's the only real time limit. You can take as long as you like. I mean, it can go on for months if you want. Game time is, let's go to a different area. Let's go to that part. Game time, I think it's something like 8 times faster than normal time. You'll also notice that the image of the Titanic wreck there shows the ship in one piece. Now, if the only film about the Titanic you've seen is that fucking stinking heap of shit James Cameron film, then you may be wondering why. I don't for one moment think that what's that? Ace of Spades. Fuck it, let's take a photograph of it. I don't think for 1 minute that the ship did break in half before it sank. And you'll notice that all these people who are saying, oh yes, the ship broke in half before it actually did sink, all said so after the fucking film showed it. So I think that's just bollocks. More cards. Now, I have a feeling that Ace of Spades, Aces, Diamonds, Hearts, Clubs. Right, so we'll let go of that. So let's see what happens if we put the Ace of Spades down there with them. There we go. So that's opened that door. So that's one of the puzzles solved. So sometimes the puzzles are as simple as just picking up a particular item. I have a feeling this thing, walking shoe, is something that's valuable. So if we put that in here, select it, and then select it to go to, except it doesn't do it. I think maybe then I have to have it in the, no, it's still not fucking doing it. In that case I can't remember how you send it off to sell it. And now I've got a load of stuff in my, there's another walking shoe. I think you have to put the two walking shoes together. Okay, let's for the moment we'll put down the lettuce. So anyway, yeah, so I don't think the Titanic actually broke apart before it went down. Oh, that didn't work. Now, if you have seen what I consider to be the de facto film of the Titanic, which is a film called A Night to Remember, the ship didn't break apart then. I wonder if those walking shoes, because we are on the promenade, what's that? A walking stick. I'll leave that there for the moment. Oh, another shoe. Okay. No, actually no. Leave that there, but I'll bring over the other one. Anyway, yes, so the film A Night to Remember, the Titanic didn't break in half in that one when it went down. And of course that film was made in the 50s when there were far more survivors of the Titanic still alive, and they were able to give a more accurate story behind what happened. So I just... Oh, bollocks, I pressed the wrong thing. If you do what I've just done, press the wrong thing and end up damaging the submersible, and you also damage the robot arm, hence the flashing icon now of the robot arm there. Yeah, I'm not sure that would do it. So that's now something that needs to be repaired. The other thing is that I'm now not completely sure whereabouts I am. I've got myself a bit lost. So I'm going to need to try and make my way back to... oh, right, first class lounge. So I'm on the way. This isn't going back. Yeah, stewardesses weren't here before. Is that corset? Whalebone corset, yeah. I'll take a photograph of that. But I have to leave it there because yeah, I can't really do a lot else. I've got my hold is completely full. So, right, I think if we go back here, I don't think this is the room we can go back in, but I think this one might be. Yeah, here we go. Right. So let's return to the surface. So I'm just showing this to you know, to do the review because you wouldn't normally waste so much time, you know, exploring so little. Right, now sometimes when you come into the finance room, let's just check repairs, 10 minutes for £100, oh, that's nothing. You'll sometimes get a message coming up here if they say, you know, something is either very good or something was not very good. Here we go. I will give you no more money. That's what they usually say. Yeah, fuck off then. Right, what about him? If you find something significant, whether it's a photograph or a particular item you brought up and sold, then they will give you, you know, some more money in terms of, you know, to help you out with the expedition and that. So, right, let's go down to another area. Let's try this one. So, a couple of graphics and sound and gameplay. I think the gameplay is superb. I fucking love this game. I always have. It's a game I find completely absorbing. When I first got it, I just thought it was fantastic, and that opinion has never changed. I'm sure I can't pick up what is just a hole. Yeah. But yeah, it's not saying I can go up or down either. So that's just a hole in the floor or in the sides there. It's not a way that I can move anywhere in particular. Well, there's what looks like a padlock. I'll photograph it. I don't think I can pick it up though. No. Ah, now that clam, this one I do remember. Yeah. So I've dislodged the clam and opened the door. That is the way of actually opening that, but the robot arm has now been damaged. You can't use it. So I would need to go, well, if I was playing the game properly anyway, I would need to go back and repair the submersible, repair the robot arm before I went any further. See, so I'm finding more stuff here and I can't do anything with it. There is a way of being able to identify what's in the room without picking it up, and again I've forgotten the key. Just there's also a way of you look at the doorway, or a particular doorway, and it will tell you what room it will take you to. So yeah, I've fucked up by not brushing up on the keys before doing the video. Anyway, so this is giving you a tester of RMS Titanic. So I fucking love this game. It's completely absorbing. I highly recommend it. You don't have to be, you know, obsessed with the Titanic or even interested in, you know, things like underwater exploration. If you like any of the type of game genre that this game encompasses, as I say, strategy, puzzle solving, arcade adventure, you know, all sorts, simulation to a degree, then this game has something there that will appeal to you. I absolutely guarantee it. I rate this game 9.5 out of 10. It's not quite good enough for a 10 out of 10, but it is close. 9.5 out of 10. I have no hesitation in awarding it that. I think the game's fantastic. I'm a huge fan. I always have been, and that's not going to change. So that brings this video to an end. RMS Titanic for Commodore 64. Highly recommended, 9.5 out of 10. So that's it for this video, and we shall see you at the next one.